Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 6th ID in the ID series. This is the ID.7 and it's a Saloon. And we've done a walk around of this already, but we get to actually drive this today on the UK roads to see how this fares up on the road. So I'm excited to do that. But before we do that, let's go through the design, talk about the look. This is the aquamarine blue, which looks absolutely fantastic. Even in this gloomy weather, it still looks really good. In true Volkswagen fashion, we have the logo on the front, which looks fantastic. We have the LED lights that goes all around the car. We have the IQ lights as well, so matrix LED lights that adjust according to the road that you're driving on and so on and so forth. We've got a couple of radar system around the car, so like the cameras there, you can see the radar stuff on there for things like reading the traffic signs, things like monitoring the road as well for comfortability and so on and so forth. And then on the side, we have the side curtain that's just right there because this actually has a decent drag coefficient as well. This is 0.23 drag coefficient. And you can see how it just slopes as well on the front. This windscreen is kind of sloped, gives you this nice coupe-like sort of experience, which is really nice. Over on the side, things looks really great as well. I think it looks nice and smart, if I must say so myself. The top is black finishing, and again, that aquamarine blue color just looks really nice on the side of the car. As for the wheels, we get 19-inch alloys, which are aerodynamically designed as well, so that this helps with the range that you get in the car, so it's more efficient. And then we see on the side how the way it just kind of slopes down on the back, giving you that sort of like coupe sort of vibe on the side. I love the recessed door handles as well, so it's just nice and tucked in there so it doesn't stick out at all, which is really good in my opinion. I love this line as well. The leading line just goes all around the car, kind of leads onto the front, just giving that elongated look. And this is around 5 meters long, and you're looking at around 3 meters of a wheelbase on this, and it's based on the MEB platform, so we can see that in the way they've used that when we get inside of the car in terms of the space and that kind of stuff. Underneath here, we have our charging ports, and this supports up to 175 kilowatts charging, fast charge, so you can get to 80% in 28 minutes, so that's really good as well. Over in the back, we have the 3D tail lights that goes all across the back as well, which looks good. The logo's there, ID.7 written on there as well, so again, when you see this on the road, it means you know that it's the ID.7. We open this up and we get 532 litres of boot space, nice and big. You even have a little opening on the back as well, so you can still access what's in the boot from the back seats, which is nice. And there's also a layered boot space here, so you can also get a bit of a deeper space if you really want to do that. And below that, you get more space to store extra things like your charging cable, so they don't take up space. But I love the big opening, so it's easy to get things in the boot, regardless of how big or bulky they are, so that's really good. The way that it slopes down though, just means that you have to be careful how high they will be in case it will hit the boot, so that way it won't close properly because it's electronically controlled. But you do get a bigger boot space when you fold the seats down as well. We'll leave all numbers on the screen so you can remember those and take screenshots or whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's about it for the boot space. Let's have a look at the back seat. Okay, so in the back seats, things look very premium here. We have nice materials that's used all around the seats here, which looks really good. There's plenty of space in here. That's the first thing you notice, including the headroom. Plenty of headroom here. I'm about 5'11", tall enough to know that this is very good. And then here, we've got enough space to tuck in our feet. Knee room is good as well, even though this seat is actually kind of rolled back a little bit. This is not how I'd normally sit. I'd sit with that a bit forward. And even with that, there's plenty of knee room here. So space is not an issue at all. We've got 2 charging ports here, USB-C charging ports. And then again, in the middle, you can easily sit another adult in the middle here and they'll sit here comfortably well. Knees is not too raised, you know, there's nothing here. It's just really nice and comfortable actually. And then we've got climate control stuff here, which you can control it for the back passengers. We've got the armrest here with cup holders as well. And also, like I was saying earlier, you can access that area in the boot. Folding that down, you can go straight inside there and grab something that you might have forgotten. Or if you just need to store like golf club or something like that, you can do exactly that. But yeah, nice material, looks really good. You got ambient lighting in here as well, which you can change the colors to whatever suits your mood. And that wraps around the car as well. So again, it just adds to that level of premium that you get in here, which is really good. So yeah, no complaints here. Over in the front, the spaciousness continues here. There's plenty of room in here, plenty of space to store things. The material is nice as well for the seats. It feels nice and comfortable, which is really good. In terms of space, we open this bit up and it's just so big. I can almost fit my arms in there, and there's like a little layer in there as well to store extra things and layer it up the way you want to do so. And then here we've got this curtain sort of experience. To slide that open, we have a cup holder there. We have another space here to store your phone if you want to do that. There's 2 USB-C ports, a wireless charging, Qi wireless charging mat here, so you can charge compatible devices. And there's not a lot of buttons going on around here because a lot of the things are controlled on this 15-inch display, which is huge. This is new as well, it's been updated. It's a lot more responsive. You got this illuminated controls on here as well, which is an update as well, because before that wasn't illuminated, weirdly. And then on the steering as well, we have this touch capacitive sort of haptic feedback touch control here, which you can use to control things like your active cruise control, volume, changing track, changing views and mode and all that kind of stuff. We've got a button on the door, which allows you to control the mirrors and stuff. Again, it's layered in the way it operates. It's kind of like streamlined it in a way so that you don't get too much buttons there as well. And then one thing I actually love is this instrument cluster, how minimalist it is. It's not too in your face. So that way you can actually concentrate on the road. We have augmented reality head-up display, which works really well. Augmented reality is still something that I don't think car manufacturers know if it's useful or not. I think in my experience, if it's not in the car, I don't miss it. If it's there, it doesn't bother me, but it does sort of appear in a way that when you turn in and stuff, you get big arrows in front of you, so you know that you need to turn right or left. You get ID lights, which goes across here, which turns on when you're charging the car. It also allows you to do things like when you need to turn, when you do navigation, it will react to that as well. You can change all that settings in there, which I'll show you guys in a second. One thing I've got issues with still is the charging, because sometimes it charges, sometimes it doesn't charge. You place your phone there, sometimes it does. Like for example, it says wireless charging is not possible for whatever reason. There's no contact there, there's nothing there. In fact, just remove the key. It's still giving me that error right now. So that's still something that they need to fix to make sure that it works each and every time. There's also a version, which I think it's optional, where you can get the panoramic sunroof, which allows you to press a touch of a button or using IDA. I was picking up my voice. Sorry, IDA. Basically, you can use it to control it, to dim it, and make sure that you can use it to make it go transparent or dim it whenever you want to do that very quickly. We don't have that in here, unfortunately, but that's an option to get in the car. But yeah, let's go through this infotainment system and see what you get here. So on the screen, it's very familiar. So if you've used an iPhone, iPad, whatever before, you're gonna get on with this so straightforward. So we've got the home button, so that will allow you to go home at any point. So for example, if I was in car settings, I can press that to take me back home at any point if I wish to do so. The map is also very responsive. I mean, I'll say that here. Let me just open that up completely. There we go. So that's very responsive as well, as you can see there, so which is good. It shows you all the nearest charging stations as you're driving along, so that will update and keep you posted, so you know you can plan your journey accordingly. Press that again, takes us back home. One thing you can always do here is, all here are your quick access buttons. I think here we can actually add a bit more as well. You can add different ones to your favorites, so you can remove or add as you wish to do so. If we do mode, in mode, you can do different drive modes. So you have eco, comfort, sport, and individual. So in individual, for example, you can start to do your settings and change some of the dynamics here. So for example, the driving dynamics, the steering, the drive, exterior engine sound, adaptive cruise control, light assistance, air conditioning, and so on. Otherwise, in sports and everything else, it just controls things accordingly to make sure that it's either eco-friendly, gives you a bit more oomph when you start to put it into sports mode, and so on. We're going to assist. We can see all the driver assistance that we have. We're going to list it here. So we look at everything. We have lane assist, speed warning, attention monitor, drowsiness monitor, front assist. We have travel assist as well, speed limiter, eco assistance. We have a bunch of stuff on here to keep you nice and safe on the road. And then we're going to parking. This is where this will allow you to park itself. So it will help you park in your space comfortably well. So you can see there, you can remember your parking spaces as well. And then we can look at the camera. So you can look around the car. Look at that. You can even wash your camera as well. If it's dirty, you can clean it, which is cool. You can hide that as well. So again, just park assist stuff to help you park properly. And then we go into that quick settings option there. So things like head-up display, you can quickly turn it on and off using that bit. You got ID lights, which you can control the brightness, basic functions and navigation, infotainment, all the stuff. So what it does when you've got ID light on, so you can see charging information, pausing and standby. When you do navigation, you got turn alerts and so on and so forth. So lots of options there. If we go into vehicle settings, you can see all the settings you have as well. So headlight settings, go across, you can see, you can tap which bits you want. In fact, let's go on brakes. What does that give us? So you got all this information when it comes to braking, so like auto hold, it's all there for you. Interior settings, you can see like head-up display settings, cockpit settings, interior lighting, ID light settings. Again, we go back to ID light setting that we saw already from earlier. We'll go on seats. We can look at what we can do with easy entry, so things moves forwards and backwards, for example, to allow for easy entry. You also get smartphone mirroring, so you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in here. So you have it with wireless and wired as well. In terms of sound quality sounds good in here. You can also adjust the sound settings by going into car settings. So actually the quickest way that I do is if I press audio, tap settings here, it takes you straight there. So you can then go into sound. You can adjust things like your bass, mid and treble, good to go. And then if we go into background, here we can adjust the interior lighting. So it comes in 2 layers. So the main bit, you can change it, and then the lighting below it as well. You can also change that light, so you can adjust the interior lighting, the ambient lighting with loads of different colors. You have plenty of color options to suit your mood, or you can just have this. So it goes per mood. So you got eternity, we've got desire, euphoria, vitality, automatic, and you can turn it off completely as well if you don't want it there. But otherwise, it's nice and straightforward, nice and simple. We get dual display here, so you can still see your climate controls always at the bottom. Stuff like your audio and stuff like that, it's there, charging, and then map is on the left there, good to go. I believe they're also bringing ChatGPT to this car via software updates. I'm not entirely sure, but we did see a demo of that and the announcement where we were at CES in Vegas, and that was pretty cool. So hopefully that will roll out to this so we can start using ChatGPT. Okay, so we are on the road in Milton Keynes, and what a better place to try this out. You know, loads of windy roads, not all smooth. We have roundabouts everywhere, and it's also raining, which means I also get to test that sensors on the wipers, which works really well. So it's controlling the speed accordingly right now because it's not heavy rain, it's just sprinkling. So it's working really well, which is really good. We don't get any wipers at the back, which is pretty much standard now. But yeah, visibility all around the car is really good. I can see everywhere clearly. There's no issues at all. Enough space in the mirror to see the back window as well, which is really good. Let's get some stats out of the way. So this would do 0 to 62 in 6.5 seconds, modest. You have 540 Newton meters of torque. So there's plenty of torque in there, especially when you put it in sports mode, you get a bit more. You got B mode as well on the gear shifter here. So you just rotate it to put it into B mode so we can get some energy recuperation. It would do 112 miles per hour top speed. And what number am I missing here? 286 PS, so in terms of power. So you get a picture of everything you get inside of the car. So right now I'm looking at the augmented reality, big arrow telling me there's this bend coming on here. So besides that, the user friendliness of just general cabin area here is really good in terms of being able to reach for things. It's very reachable, it's very comfortable to sit here in this cabin as well. I think that's some of the things that you'd want in a car like this, in this saloon, that you're going to be driving for a long journey. For example, in terms of my range on the WLTP, we're looking at around 383 miles on the WLTP, which isn't too bad at all. And obviously you get it 175 kilowatts fast charge. So if you do need to charge rapidly, like I said at the start, 20 minutes will get you 80% charge, which means you can be on road very quickly if you find those fast charge areas, which you pay a lot more money for these day and age as well. That aside, let's talk about how this drives. I love the steering wheel, for example. This has got this nice leatherette finishing on it, which feels nice and comfortable. Driving on the road, this cornering, you know, bumps and stuff, this has comfortability at the heart of the way that it's designed. So when you're driving on these bumpy roads here, it absorbs those bumps very well. No issues at all. So I have no qualms with that. So I know that if I take this on a road where there's loads of potholes, which we did encounter driving around Milton Keynes, it just absorbs those potholes very easily. There's no issues there at all. All was steaming up. Let's put the climate control on. Very easy to control, like I was saying earlier. So just press a couple of buttons in here and we are good to go. You can also sync it as well. It's individual climate control. So we can also sync it for both, or we can do it individually if we wish to do so. You can press climate completely, turn it on or off if you want to do that. Let me just put that to 2-3 fans maybe without making it sound too loud in the car. But yeah, that's just another testimony to the fact that this is nice and within reach. So if I really would just want to control things, I can do that very easily over there. In terms of road noise, it's very minimal in here. So that's important as well. It's an electric car, so I don't want that loud noise from outside infiltrating the car. The windows and the windscreen, they are built in a way to hold that heat in the car as well. Again, just helping with efficiency inside of the car. Heat comes with extras, so you can pay for that. I think it's just about over just £1,000 extra. So if you want that heat pump in the car, you have to pay for that. It doesn't come as standard. Same as the panoramic sunroof that I was talking about. It would be nice to have those as standard, but it doesn't come as standard in the car. The Pro S version is coming later on this year, I think, or next year. I'm not entirely sure. But when that does come out, it will come with extra power and some bits and bobs here and there that will be extra in the car. That just makes it a bit more souped up. But I think overall in the car feels comfortable, cornering feels great, its handling is very good as well, the brakes feels nice and good as well, very trusting. I wouldn't say it's nimble in terms of chucking it in corners and stuff like that comfortably well. This is rear wheel drive. I won't go that far, but it's agile enough. So again, just when you're driving, it fills you with confidence and stuff like that. So you're not gonna feel like you're gonna lose control of the car. There's little beeps going on in the car that you need to change the settings to make sure it doesn't distract you and it's not too annoying. But other than that, I think overall driving experience is really good in the car for around, what, £50,000 or just over £51,000 or so. I think this is reasonably priced for what you get. You get plenty of tech in the car, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, plenty of safety options, big screen here, comfortable. So I think the mileage is good as well, 383 miles. If you get that in the real world, I don't know. At the moment, we are on 79% battery, and it says I'll still be able to get 232 miles on there, even though this is in comfort mode right now. So and I've got it heating on as well. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I think overall for me, it's something that you could definitely consider if you're looking to buy a new Saloon that's electric, especially from Volkswagen. This would be a really good choice to consider. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Any questions, drop them there as well. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.